Jacob.
Scamming, deceptive practices, and scamming.
I told you behind you need to make a video on that. Did you
You
do that?
should on your new channel.
Yeah, stop fucking spamming, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck you?
But
What
what
fuck,
is spamming? Can
fuck you
somebody break that
spamming
down?
for?
I'm a little slow. What exactly is spamming? Because you know we all be putting like a lot of emojis in people's
Oh.
chat. Is that spamming?
So repetitive typing of the same letter, phrases, things like that. Excessive emojis, like the same emojis. Excessive cat, like that's
Trisha,
a nice
Trisha
rule.
said, "You know better, Eric."
I-
Yo, why she playing?
and
You
it,
know what? Let me stop. I'm gonna behave
and
on this panel.
a
I'm
whole
gonna
lot of
get into my
No,
shit.
say what you gotta say.
no, no, no,
BFF is in here.
no.
Where you at, cutie? How's on?
Include guidelines to help the community.
I really feel like that was drawn. I really want to write a letter.
I need more
Hey,
information.
BFF.
It's a wild John. Cause it's like how you pick who gets in trouble and who doesn't. That's the weird part.
Because I'm like, doesn't everybody put a lot of emojis in chats? Because I put purple hearts all over the place. So is that spamming?
It's
Man,
crazy.
listen.
I
Like,
did
what is considered
deceive
excessive?
anybody. I don't scam.
I think it will probably have to depend on the amount of times you do it and like the repeatedness of how you do it.
But what you was spamming for, bro?
because somebody said to spam the chat. I mean,
What's so good about spamming the chat?
the
Oh,
chat
here you go.
chat rate goes up, and
Oh.
they'll push your chat out, to more people.
That's what I said, Chip. That's what I said, bro. He said it's spamming if it's reported, and that's why I'm like, my brain is like, it does not compute.
So
like
whoever
if
you was
everybody's
doing
doing
it,
it,
they was reporting. They reported.
I feel like somebody did some slick stuff. I'm just saying, I can't.
Oh
prove
wow,
it,
that's
but I feel
actually
like somebody
insane.
reported
So you
it.
got elevator. You got haters, bro.
I really feel like that, but that's just my, I don't know nothing, but I'm just, it's like, why would you select this one channel? That just doesn't compute to me.
Man,
Now would everybody be doing it?
Shout outs to everybody that supports all of our channels. You know what I mean? We don't need people to be spamming because people really organically rock with us. You heard?
Mm.
But if you ever get into a conflict with someone, just block them. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like did somebody spam?
Just don't engage with them. Like, don't go back and forth with nobody. Because people start hating and they report your channel or some foolishness.
Ooh, Chip, for real?
So Chip says someone. I'm gonna put it up, y'all.
Okay, bet.
Someone has to report the activity for them to take action. In his appeal, he can see who report.
Go do it, yo, go find out, elevated.
Find out,
and then you gotta make a whole live, make a whole video, and go crazy.
Because that's why.
My baby said he just flamed a troll in his live and made them sub.
Yeah, that's how I got all of those subs that live.
Yeah.
5,000 views.
Where's BFF at? You want to come on camera, BFF?
90 subs that day.
Somebody
elevated. The only person that I know got faithful trolls. his trolls come over and follow everybody else. Facts.
Listen,
I'm about to get up off of here, y'all. I'm gonna go down in the chat.
All
right. Okay.
All right, later.
Bye, Jay. Bye, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
That necklace was really pretty. I meant to tell her that.
Yeah.
I get this protected by sparkles.
That's crazy though. Like, it has to be, but you appealed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. So you get all the information once you appeal it. But this is good information for all of us because anyone.
But I ain't gonna lie, elevated. I feel like the channel that you got now gonna go crazy. It's gonna do better than even the first one.
It's gonna do better because now you got more knowledge. Now you can. Did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze a little bit, but you good now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Same direction.
You ready? Y'all ready for this?
I don't know if I want to do something different. I don't know.
Let me get my MAGA hat.
Is this hold on. Is this the first time you've been on my channel?
This is monumentous. This is monumentous.
Wait, hold on. Is this the first time? Wait, we got Supreme on the panel, y'all.
Oh, snap.
Oh
That's
my
not eyes
God.
deceive me.
What's today's date? Let me
Hold on, I'm getting
down.
crazy echo. Hold on.
The first
Hold on,
this
1
motherfucker
second.
try to front. Why you had to pull up in your studio, nigga?
Listen,
I got
my
in my
glasses
studio
on,
too.
you know?
Fancy light skinned nigga, man.
Nah, cause he trying. I feel like he trying to come in here fronting and shit.
No,
right.
Damo.
Can anybody hear me?
No.
You know we can hear you.
No, I was getting crazy echo. Crazy echo.
We can't hear you.
I'm about to pull up in my studio too. What's up with you?
Hold on, I'm still getting echo. Hold on, 1 second.
Are you on
Hold on.
your other channel? You might have to mute the tab.
You gotta mute everything else.
Oh,
Look at there.
There we
with the
go.
knowledge.
There you go.
there we go.
I know a whole lot about a whole
All
lot
right,
about
right
bit
there.
about
How y'all
stuff.
doing?
Okay.
What's up,
you raggedy
Supreme?
motherfucker?
Listen. I come in peace tonight, man. I ain't
Oh,
even wearing.
Listen, watch
I
all
don't
that
want- I don't want
cursing.
that one.
That wasn't
don't
me.
want
That
that
was
version.
Stash. You talking about watch the
Stash
cussing?
been
I'm
cursing
telling
for the
you,
last
Stash,
38
Stash.
minutes. It is what it is.
Cursing.
Because listen, I told my wife I was going on Coach's panel, and she said, "Don't be doing all that cuss." I said, "I ain't gonna cuss, but I'm gonna wear my MAGA hat though."
Let me turn your
Where the
camera
MAGA
on.
hat? Where the MAGA hat? Yeah.
Look,
So, Supreme, can you please enlighten us? What the heck were you talking about?
on which part?
Wait, before you do that, please let everybody introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are, what your channel's about, and then we'll get into the tea. Go
Man,
on.
if you don't know me by now, I don't even want you to know me. I'm good on that. Nothing. I don't want no pity subs. Don't come to my channel, because everybody that usually come to my channel end up unsubscribing because I said something to piss them off. So don't even come. If the algorithm don't bring you to my channel, you don't supposed to be there. Simple as that, man. I'm not finna keep going back and forth, up and down with this emotional turmoil. You know what I'm saying? One day I got 4,000 subs, and the next day I got 3,990. Fuck no, I ain't doing all that, man. Look, if the algorithm bring you to my channel, you are more than welcome to join the Supreme team.
Yeah,
he said, I trust the algorithm. I trust the algorithm.
I'm good, man. The algorithm they know what you want to see better than I do. So
Oh my Lord. So I'll introduce him. Okay, guys. Here we have the Supreme View. If you want more of what you're seeing right now, then subscribe to his channel. All right, now let's get into it.
I do reactions about crime, funny stuff, relationships, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna rub you the wrong way. Pause. And I already got the pause. You ain't got to pause me. I got the pause.
Pause, man. Pause. I said it first. Pause.
What I was saying was, Faith, my homegirl from Tennessee, was like, "Hey, come up on the panel," and I was like, basically saying, everybody don't rock with me. So y'all was having a good vibe. I was giving my daughter a bath, and I was in the back cracking up because y'all was cracking me up. I was just laughing and cutting up and whatever. And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna go up there and mess up the energy. But then I seen BFF in the chat, and me and him think alike. So I said, if BFF can rock out, I can go up there and rock out too. And I'll just be cool, casual, and calm tonight. What I was saying at first about Remy Ma, because let's go back to that for 2 seconds.
You gonna come up? Hold on, y'all.
What's up, BFF?
BFF, what's good, my guy?
Bro, I'm trying to get the link situated right now.
All right, cool. What I was saying was, so let's take gender out of it, okay? If a man does something that I think makes him a POS, I call him a POS. I don't take up for him. just because I'm a man and that's a man. But it seems like, and I'm saying seems like, the women a lot of times are just taking up for Remy Ma because she's a woman. For example,
I like this conversation.
People was in the chat. People was in the chat saying hurt people. How in the hell do we know she was hurt? You're automatically giving her the benefit of the doubt that, oh, she was hurt. We don't know that she was hurt. She could have just been a streetwalker.
Right.
Simple as that. That's what I was trying to explain. Listen, I have a wife that I love dearly and 2 daughters that I'm crazy about. I would do a life sentence for either one of them women. I'm not one of them dudes that hate women. I'm not one of them. It's a lot of guys that get on the internet and they was picked on in school, or they was left at the lab. They was picked last at kickball, and they didn't know women like them, and they don't know how to take showers, and so the women think they stink and they don't talk to them, and they hate women. I'm not one of them dudes. Everything that I'm saying, whether you agree or not, is based in some sort of logic. And all I'm saying is, we don't need to automatically take up for her saying hurt people. I don't know if she was hurt.
So they were saying Remy Ma was hurt.
Oh, Jesus, man. This is what I was going crazy. I was like, we don't look. Okay, listen. She could have been hurt. Right. What I'm saying is you don't know that. Yes. You don't know that. You're automatically giving her it's like this. When a woman leaves a man, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time. I'm not stupid enough. Nothing is absolute, right? There's no absolutes in the universe. But 9 times out of 10, the first thing another woman will say is, what'd he do?
Yep.
What you mean, what did he do? Why did he have to do something? She could have just been a hoe. Simple. What happened? That's the part that drives me absolutely bonkers. I'd be like, oh my God. But I get it. Just say this. I would rather someone just say this. I take up for women. I'm a woman's advocate. I'm always going to take up for women. No matter what happens, I'm never going to see the man's side of the story. I'm always going to give the woman the benefit of the doubt. Okay, cool. Now at least I know where we're starting from. So I know who I'm talking to.
Right.
Word, but remember you said on your live the other day that if a man cheat, it was the woman's fault. You said that. Remember you said
Danielle, listen. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm not taking over your panel. I swear.
No, go ahead.
Danielle, you know me. Like
I know that's. But I'm saying this for the people in the back. I'm not saying
I was being sarcastic and I was trolling.
Got you. So here's the thing, and I feel you. But
now
you
I'm
know
being
people
serious.
think that. You know people 100% think that.
Oh, that I was being serious?
No, that people actually have that line of thinking.
Those are stupid men. Just like I'm calling Remy Ma stupid for cheating on the man that had her back.
Okay.
There is a such thing as a stupid ass man.
Yeah.
So there's nuance. I mean, I hear your point, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I think that there's so much information that we just don't know.
Right.
And I hear your concern, like, oh, it sounds like everybody's jumping on her side. I think anytime somebody cheats, there's a reason you do that. And I think most times it's self-injurious behavior. That's just my opinion. Because why are you doing that? But that's my morality. That's my thought process. Because just break up, just divorce. Why are you going to cheat with somebody? Yeah. So my thing is, I guess to give meaning to it, I'm like, something happened. And maybe that's the easier response to be like, okay, if something happened, there was a motivation behind this.
See, I'm getting trolled. I'm getting trolled in the chat, man.
Dang. Right. So all I'm saying, and again, that's why I appreciate you being in the present, because I feel like sometimes we say these things and people don't, and there are people who really think like, oh, whatever she did was right, and there's men that be like, oh, she was I'm not gonna say the word.
Those are idiots. Look, listen. I'll tell you how not red pill I am. Stash and Elevated, they might disagree with this. This is how red pill I'm not. I'm such a realist. I'm a realist. I'm so not red pill that I even understand sometimes when women be dogging out men. I'm like, I'm around these dudes. I go to the bathroom. I see them not washing their hands. Nasty mother. I see this. I see them not taking care of their children. You low life sacker. I see this with my eyeballs. So I'm not just taking up for men just to be taking up for men. But Remy, look, my wife stood by my side the whole time I was in prison. So this bothers me personally. This bothers me personally. Because I'm like, dude, do you realize, I'm talking to Remy, dude, chick, whatever, do you realize how loyal that is?
Yeah.
That type of loyalty don't come around a lot.
For a year,
that type of loyalty don't come around a lot. I'm telling you now, man. I'm 40 plus years old, and I ain't seen that type of loyalty but once, maybe twice in my entire life.
But this be my thing with that.
Wait, hold on, Stas. 1 second. I gotta introduce the newest guest. So everybody be quiet for a second, all right? Everybody. We got Black effing Fathers.
Where your MAGA hat?
The building. So we're gonna give him a second. We're gonna let him introduce his channel, and then we're gonna continue on with the conversation. BFF, you got the floor.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? BFF LB, you already know. Please go check out my channel. BFF stands for Black effing Fathers. I'm just advocating for us, the Black effing father, because I'm a Black effing father. You already know, like, if you check out my content, you'll see it's a little bit of everything. You following me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just navigating through life, trying to make it. I got my beautiful co-pilot over there, Coach Me Reens. Y'all already know her. So I'm just trying to catch up. If not, run alongside. Like, I ain't even trying to catch up with Coach. I'm just trying to run.
You can see past me so I could quit.
Yeah, trying to run alongside Coach in this YouTube situation. I'm new to this. All of y'all is all professionals. So I am glad to be in the Are You Locked In community. And I'm going to let y'all get back to what y'all was just talking about. Supreme, no MAGA hats. You already know what it is.
All right, Stas. Sorry to interrupt. What were you saying?
Stas, what's good, bro?
What's good, bro? Damn, I forgot. No, I was like, my only thing with that is like, I just feel like nobody hold women accountable. Like that'd be like, it'd be a lot of times women out here be doing a whole lot of nonsense and they not being held accountable. Where as far as with us as men, like y'all may not believe it, but we hold each other accountable. It's plenty of times, like me personally, I know dudes that be doing some silly stuff, and I'll be like, yo, like I've been cursing all day. I'm cursing too much, but I'll be like, yo, you wilding. Like, well, sometimes I done had fights with people, like men, for doing ignorant stuff. But I feel like when it comes to like women, it y'all be like scared a little bit, like, or it's like this because of this whole women empowerment. Like, men don't have no men empowerment. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. Like, if somebody doing some F stuff, you know what I mean? Have them hold themselves accountable. That'd be my thing. That's why even on my channel, like, I always make a disclaimer. I'll be like, not all women are the same. I understand that. But it be some things that be going on that women be doing, and then I go look in the comments, and it be some stuff, and if women be agreeing, like, oh, he must have did something wrong, or yeah, whatever. Like, it's always brings it back to the men. You feel me? It gets to a point where I be feeling like the gender war is real. It's really men versus women. Like, and it shouldn't even be like that.
Do you think that's by design?
Yep, I do. I definitely do. My question is this though, right? My question is this, because I think I know the politics of it, but like, why is it a thing of like women be on the type of time of like they want to be like men? Like, what's so like, not saying like, you know what I mean? I understand, but like, what's so special about being like us? Because it's fucking tough. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for men, but I feel like women be wanting it. We could be like that too. We like that too. We need to be acknowledged. Like, what's so? Why do women feel like y'all want to be like men so bad?
So let me just ask you a question. You said
you can't ask a question with a question, then, yeah.
No, I need to understand the premise of what you're saying. So I have to get clarity. May I get some clarity?
Sure, there you sure there, yeah.
So when you say there is no men empowerment, when you define empowerment, what does that mean?
It's no, like, for example, like men it's pretty black and white. Like, I feel like with us men, if we see somebody doing some nonsense, we calling them out on their boat, they BS. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times, all right, you asked what's about the what you said?
Empowerment.
The man in power. We don't have that. It's pretty black or white. It's like you either right or
Right.
you wrong. You
So
feel
when
what
you
I'm saying?
yeah, I get it. Y'all don't have that because
Right.
empowerment by its very nature is for somebody who has been stripped away from power, right? Somebody who has been put in a position where they are eternally less than. And so unfortunately, and we not even gonna get into American politics, there is a system, and I'm not because I don't want Supreme to get on me, but there is the situational system. I'm not saying you can't overcome it. I'm not saying you can't, rise against it. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I am saying there is a system in place, right, that men have the upper hand in society. Now, is it different for Black men? Perhaps. Is it different for certain types of people? Perhaps. But I think that their communal aspect of our culture has something to do with, for many years, there has been, for lack of a better term, pressure on the woman. Right? When you say, why do y'all want to be men? For many years, they had no choice but to be matriarchs of their family, right? Because there is a system that locks up certain types of people. So so when you say want to, I don't know that there is a want to. But if you have been doing this for years, hundreds of years, right? Now you're saying, oh, you got to stay in a woman's place. Well, what is a woman's place? I've been doing this for 100 years.
See, and this is the thing, right? Like, I feel like even with that, you know what I mean? It comes to time, like, for example, for so long, even us as men, like, we protect our family, we protect our women. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of like Coach asks, do I think it's set up? Like everything is set up. Like, not for nothing, like us men we getting fucked up. You feel what I'm saying? So when I say like we fighting things that don't necessarily have to do with females.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So we it's shit that's happening. We ain't gonna talk about politics like you said, but we getting fucked up to the point where it's like we getting defeated. You know what I mean? To the point where now it's up to the woman to stand up because it's people in higher power that's fucking the men up. But while, you know what I mean, I feel like the things that y'all, you know what I mean, may not see or understand that the men have to go through, it's like when it was time for women to step up, it was like, now we got to do this by ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like the men didn't want y'all to do it by yourself. It was like shit happened. You feel me? To us.
Right.
Yeah.
To us.
I don't disagree with that.
I think that's powerful what he's saying. And I think somewhere the communication got lost and everybody got really defensive. Right. So no one's listening to the other side. So it's just like this defensive thing happening now where everybody's just trying to be right instead of listening to each other.
Right. But what you don't agree with though, Danielle?
I said I don't disagree. I agree with that. I concur. I think that is part of the problem. And I think that because there is a misalignment and misunderstanding of that, it is this, you want to be a man. I don't want to be a man. I love my husband to life, and I'm so glad he does what he does for our family. Amen. I don't want to be the person that got to check when the creek go in the night. I don't
want to build anything. I don't want to take the garbage out. I don't want it.
And it's not just menial task. I mean, there's things that he provides for our family that I cannot do. Like and I'm okay with that. I am a traditional wife. I think it grinds my gears when people say that we want to be valued, we want to be respected, we want to be able to get paid for the same jobs as, there are things that we want that are
when we say women aren't equal though, that ain't what we're talking about. We ain't talking about pay and nothing like that.
Right.
Wait, but BFF wanted to say something.
Clarify.
I mean, I'll let Supreme finish his story. I just want to piggyback off of what Stash said.
No, that was it, BFF. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, like, just to piggyback off of Stash, because I feel what he's saying, like, I want to use, because I seen somebody, I think her name is Dissenta. She was saying, she was asking Stash to, like, use an example. So, like, I'm going to use this example because this is, like, what happened to me. So, like, why do men get a differential treatment when it comes to situations like, let's just say, like, legal situations? So, if I'm a father, I have kids, and now I'm going to get custodial custody of my, or like had just full custodial custody of my child, why does it's harder on the father to get that parental, you know what I mean, that custody than it is a mother. Like a mother, she gonna get that hands down regardless of her state. Like she can be all the way all the way messed up, and then they will still give, unless she got something tied to her with like DIFUS or Child Protective Services or something like that, to where they're preventing her from having a kid, they'll still give the kid to the mother first. Like, why is it so hard, you know what I'm saying, for the father to, you know what I'm saying, obtain children? Why are they held at a differential, or they're given differential treatment? I feel, because it was kind of hard. It wasn't really hard for me. Like, my baby moms, she kind of made it easy, but it was still hard.
She made it really easy.
Yeah, but I seen what other dudes went through, and if you a father, if your baby moms, for lack of a better word, like my man Supreme be saying, is a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to go do what you got to do to obtain the custody of your child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to jump through more hoops than Dumbo. Like, they really have you on some circus shit out there, unless your child mother forfeits her rights. You know what I'm saying? To where now, like, the state or whatever is like, yo, hey, we ain't got no choice but to give them to you, or give this child to you. Like, why? I just feel it's definitely harder for a man when it comes to situations like that. When it comes to like custody, obtaining custody of children and shit like that, they definitely make it harder on the man's side than it is.
I definitely agree with that.
Can I say something?
That a lot. Yes, Supreme.
So I got full custody of my first daughter too, right? So in Tennessee, I don't know if it's like this in other states. I don't know all the laws, but in the state of Tennessee, when the mother has the baby, the second the baby breathes air, the mother alone has 100% rights. That's it. The father has nothing. So that's one example. And then another example is this. The teachers. Let me make a disclaimer first. Anybody who is messing with the underage person is a complete POS, and they need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I said underage, right? But if a man has sex with an underage student, right? A male teacher has sex with an underage student. Y'all know where I'm going with this, because we see this hundreds of times.
Yeah.
He is drugged through the town square on his back until he bled to death, as he should have been. But when a woman has sex with an underage boy, she tells the judge she's too pretty to go to jail or something like that, right? And then guys are high-fiving and stuff like that, and we're walking around saying, oh man, that boy was lucky. So those are just simple examples right there, right? It gets way more intricate and way more deep, but those are just two simple examples.
And it goes to just being held on different standards. Like that's just to break that down. This is what, I be meaning with we are different. Like, we not the same. You feel what I'm saying? Things is, what I mean? It's certain things women go through that men ain't gonna understand, and there's certain things men go through that women not gonna understand. And
no,
I feel
not
like
in Tennessee. Not in Tennessee, Yoli. Not in Tennessee.
Oh, he responded to the comments. But I feel like another thing too, like us as men, like, just to go back on, I feel like the reason why, women is so powerful when it comes to like sticking together is because y'all voice y'all opinion, y'all express how y'all feel. You feel what I'm saying? Us as men, not saying we don't do it, but it's a lot of things us as men go through, and we just handle that shit heads on. It's you know what I mean? It's probably a lot of things as women y'all really
That's
don't.
the way we're socialized, though.
Yeah,
men are socialized.
Y'all don't see it. But us as men, we be like, you know what? We gonna go with the punches. We gotta handle it. You feel what I'm saying? To the point where now, because we just so to ourselves and we just handle it without expressing how we feel, or letting people know what's going on. Now we fighting the system. Now we fighting the women. Now we fighting our kids, because it's like it's just we getting hit from all over the place trying to take on one thing at a time. You feel what I'm saying? But we getting hit all at the same time, if you get what I'm saying, because we don't express how we feel or express, what we got going on in our life, which, women do that. And I think when I asked that earlier, like, how is this the woman empowerment? Why do women have that and men don't? I think that maybe be the reason. That could be part of it. I don't know.
I see a lot of people saying talking about a woman carrying the child for 9 months.
Don't matter. Couldn't have been made without a man.
See, it don't matter.
And that's
Couldn't have been
so
made without a
that
man.
kind of speaks to what we're talking about. Where everybody's trying to be right, right?
Right.
And that's kind of speaking to that. And I want you guys, like, when I say stuff like this, I know people tend to like get defensive immediately, and then you don't hear the rest. You don't hear the rest of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yes, the woman, we have been ordained to do this. Like, we have to carry the child. That's our part of the deal. Mm-hmm. But we cannot get pregnant without the man, right? Without the sperm. You need the two things together. So even though we carry the child, sometimes the woman does not have the nurturing spirit. And sometimes she is not a mother. Just because she carries the child, she's a carrier of the child, but she's not a nurturer. And I've seen it. I've worked in the system for many, 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 many years. And I've seen many, many, many women that have carried a child for 9 months and discarded the child like it was nothing after the child was born. And the father, who the system did not want to include in the situation, he was the savior of that child. He came in and took the child and never asked the mom for child support or anything. Just came and got his child and went about his business. So I can't just say, oh, because a woman carries a child, that's a great feat. And of course it's a dangerous thing. I know all of that. I did it too. But that doesn't mean that you should have 100% right of that child. I don't agree with that.
If you don't mind, like I'm just tell you a little. I don't necessarily go personal into my stuff, but I'm just explain my story a little bit, right? Because it correlates with what you just said. So I don't know, many of y'all I don't speak about it as much, but I am a father. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, right? My son is 13 years old. So when he was younger, you feel me? When he was younger, like my son mom didn't really respect my say. Like if I had to say so, she didn't really respect it. On a low scale, I'm gonna just say, for example, he was acting up in school, right? So when he acts up in school, I used to be like, yo, you know what? I'm pulling up to his school. I'm coming to get him. You feel what I'm saying? She'd be like, what are you coming to get him for? You're not gonna discipline my child.
Wow.
What do you mean I'm not gonna discipline your child? You know what I mean? So now as a man, these are certain things as a man where it's like, you know what? I gotta play my cards right. You feel what I'm saying? Now, his mother is not a bad mom. Like, she takes care of him. She makes sure he has what he needs and everything. You know what I mean? But at the same time, she's not a good baby. Like, I felt like she wasn't a good baby mom. So I felt like if I would have went into that situation, things would have escalated to a place where it didn't need to be. So I fell back a little bit, right? So now, I always told her, I said, yo, you may feel like I'm not important now because he's a baby, but when he gets older, you're raising a boy. You're not raising a girl. You feel what I'm saying? When he gets older, it's gonna be problems. She didn't understand what I said at that point, right? So fast forward to today. We in today's time. You know what I'm saying? His grades went down tremendously. You feel me? I picked up my son. I told her, I'm like, yo, you know what? My son is gonna come stay with me. He got his grades up within a month. He went from like 50s and 60s when he was with his mom and got his grades up to 80s and 90s when he came and lived with me. You feel what I'm saying? To the extent of even when she's telling him to do certain things, she got to yell to the top of her voice. Me as his father, I could be like, yo, what's wrong with you? And his whole demeanor would switch. I don't have to yell at him for him to be on point. I say all that to say, you feel what I'm saying? It's ways that us as men, not only as men is important, but us as fathers is important as well. But I feel like that's another thing a lot of women don't see, because it's like they feel like because they have the baby and we could do this by ourselves, not understanding what how it may affect the child. You get what I'm saying? And I say that because I'm living it in real time. So it's like it's certain things I feel like, you know what I mean, people don't put in perspective. You know what I mean? I don't know who said it in the chat, but somebody said like men is not valued or respected enough. And I feel like that's another reason why I be talking about what I be talking about on my channel. You know what I mean? And a lot of times the women, not all women, but there's women out there that be pushing this narrative. I was just on live with Jay yesterday, and I had played the clip, and this lady was talking about, yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
gonna
that.
have my I'm divorced 4 times. I'm gonna have my baby father paying all this child support, and then she had the little daughter like that's looking like she about to become a woman herself, like just there. And I'm like, oh, it's about to start a whole new generation. It's gonna happen all over again. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But that's it's crazy.
Be careful who you breed with. You heard?
Yo, you know what that test do though too? That'll test your maturity. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm gonna keep it 100. I know you younger than me, Stash, and I ain't trying to like. Don't take this as no offense.
Nah.
But the older you get, the more shit just gonna roll off your shoulders, bro. Because when you younger, you more quick to react off emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So your baby mom start popping at you, or she say something that you don't like, you definitely quick to respond to that with a response. You know what I'm saying? And that shit ain't gonna be the most thought out response and all that. And I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I got 3 baby mothers, bro, and I had to learn that. Like I had to learn that shit. And what you give out is what you gonna get back. So just because somebody came to you negative, you can turn that around. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta be mature enough to do that shit. And I'm gonna tell you, I ain't learned that Mr. Miyagi Zen shit until I started. Until I got like 40 years old. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. And like,
but you want to know what's so crazy on BFF? The thing with that is, I felt like I handled it maturely because me knowing who she was, I could have reacted.
Right.
But instead of me reacting, I'm like, yo, you know what? You got it. I'm gonna fall back. You feel me? I'm gonna fall back. And you know what happened when I fell back? You know what happened when I fell back?
What happened?
You have to start calling you.
No, not even my son calling. Oh, you not there for your son?
Yeah.
You feel me? You a deadbeat and all this. Now I'm being antagonized. I felt like because I'm taking a high road for a second. You feel me? It's like nah, like you're not respecting me not only as a man but as this child's father. You feel what I'm saying? So now it's like I felt like I was in a situation where it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You feel what I'm saying? So even with you know the maturity, like it took the maturity side of me. And remember, like I'm 31. My son is 13. I had him when I was 16.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm going through this with her when I was 21. You feel what I'm saying? So the amount of maturity it took me for me to be like, yo, you know what? I think I know where this is going. I'm gonna fall back. I know the part I'm gonna be in my son's life. I may have to fall back for now, just so she can feel it and see how important it is for like me to be there, which it ultimately works now because now my son is living with me. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like shit had to play itself out.
That maturity shit go on both sides though, bro. Don't think that should just be on us, because that's where the weight come from that you be feeling like that shit just all on us.
Right.
They gotta be mature too, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, that's why I said, like, it was so easy for me to get my kid, because my baby mom, she just ain't have it in her. You feel me? Like, down to my oldest daughter, which is not my biological, but my son's sister, like, she ain't even raised her. You feel me? So, like, it's situations like that where we gonna be coming through as a man. You never know the situation. Like, you might pull up on something, and it might be an already set situation without a father. You adapt it, or you adopted whatever, and now you make that situation your own. That takes a special person, bro. I'm gonna keep that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, like, your baby mom's, like, she wasn't mature enough to talk to you in a mature way to where y'all could have just spoke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it took maturity of you for you to fall back the way you did. You know what I'm saying? Especially at a young age, because niggas be ripping off. Like, you
Facts. Why, yo, Supreme, why you over there with a headache for, bro?
Because we got either somebody is like super delusional or trolling, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is.
Man, like,
wow, what happened? I'm not even. I got to keep up with the chat. What's going on?
I'm just like, putting up everybody's comment.
No, I'm not
reading them, so I'm giving people.
I'm like, hold on. Am I supposed to be getting triggered, or am I being trolled?
I'm triggered.
It look elevated. Even my wife said delusional for sure.
Yeah.
So any woman, there are women. Okay, so I think we need to realize this. Okay, this is the problem with a lot of us men. We need to realize that just like there are some men that hate women, there are some women that hate men. So no matter what we say, no matter how many examples of good fathers, no matter how many examples that we tell them, they're still going to go to that exception. And if you have to make an exception, that proves the rule, right? But they're going to go to that exception to say what happened. Now, somebody in the chat, I ain't even saying no names. Somebody in the chat just said, women don't want to be, all women don't want to be mothers. So what about the thousands and thousands and thousands of women that commit abortions a week? That was an ignorant statement. I'm sorry, man. You can unsubscribe. I don't even think you subscribed to me, no way. That was the most ignorant statement I've ever read in my entire life. My wife even said that's delusional for sure.
There's no one that doesn't want to be a mother. They may.
I'm sitting here reading like, what in the hell am I reading?
So Yoli, I think are you speaking about what I said? I'm speaking from examples and experience. I worked in social work, and I worked for the Child Protection Agency that directly deals with custody, deals with neglect, child abuse, all of that. And a lot of cases that we came across were women that just didn't have that nurturing spirit. Like they weren't, they were bad moms. Like they left their kids. They did things to their children. Like it was terrible situations.
I believe by you
is good.
I believe by you working in the system, it allows you to see things that the average woman doesn't see. Right. So
and
you
fathers that had to be that were ignored. I mean, there will be workers, and this is dangerous because I think that a lot of women, not a lot, I think some women might be dealing with their own daddy wounds or their own male wounds, and that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. And they project that onto every man. Every man isn't the same. So even the workers sometimes would automatically assume that the father didn't want anything to do with the child, and they wouldn't even reach out to the fathers.
That's crazy.
And the case would get all the way to a child that was in foster care with strangers for weeks or months.
I know.
And they had a whole father. I would come home and tell him all the time. And they would have a whole father that was stable and could have took them, and they wouldn't even have been in foster care. But the mom just did not want to give us that information, or the worker was ignoring the father completely.
Right.
But basically, there's nothing. If a woman is like that, or if a woman feels like that, it's something that made her feel like that. Naturally, by nature, a woman is perfect, and if she gets to that point where she ever feels like that, or she becomes a POS mom, it's something that made her like that. Either the guy, the environment, God, the devil, or something like that.
Gotta heal from that though. Like that's not an excuse.
And that's important. You gotta heal. You do have to heal.
Hell no. My daughter's mom brought my daughter to me with her social security card, her birth certificate, a half a pack of diapers, and a half of a can of Similac, and said, "I don't want this motherfucker." What was her issue?
I'm telling you, and it's real. Like people don't believe that happens, but not every woman should be a mom. And I'm sorry, like I'm not caping for men, guys. Like I know women, when we say things that are against women, they put that label on you that you're. I can never remember the term. I'm male something. I forgot the term. But anyway, this is reality. I've seen it with my own eyes, with my own eyeballs.
Me and Elevated was triggered.
Okay.
That's like, I shared the story of what I was going through with my kid's mother, but then like, oh, you just go through whatever. She could do whatever. I'm trying my best to keep her happy. I'm doing stuff I don't want to do so I could be around my kids. I'm getting hit in the head with liquor bottles, and I'm just so I could be that shit ain't funny.
I'll be the laugh, bro.
That shit ain't funny, bro.
No, it's real.
I was getting abused, bro.
For real.
I was being abused. So I could stay in my kid's life, but
I can feel it. Pause. I can understand that. I understand that.
Definitely understand that. And Papoose low key was saying the same thing.
who's going to jail? So it's not funny, Stash.
Nah, that ain't funny. It's the way you said you got hit in the head with a liquor bottle that got me.
Hell, bro.
But you know what? That's why men don't like to share when something
You're
happens.
right.
Because y'all start laughing and shit. It's not funny. Like that's the other piece I've seen a lot. There's a lot of men that these crazy ladies that be hitting on them.
Yeah, that shit is
stabbing them.
If a woman hits a man, okay, I want everybody in the chat to hear me. If a woman hits a man, it's the man's fault, okay, because it's something that he did that caused that. You know what I'm saying? He brought that on himself. You know what I'm saying? Because
hold on. Yeah, I chose her. She did not act like that, Yoli. Like, come on, you really like.
I wouldn't even.
I did have kids with her. She was not like that in the beginning. Like, come on, bro. Like this. I'll catch y'all later, bro.
Y'all done piss elevator.
Yeah.
Hey, because look though, listen, check this out. And I'm not disrespecting the panel. I cussed one time. I apologize. The problem is the women that think like that don't even want to understand that men have trauma too. And a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times it's inflicted by the woman. I understand what he was saying. I was in prison with guys that used to let their women do stuff or let the baby mamas do stuff and get away with stuff just because they feared not being in the child's life because the woman has all the rights. That really triggers people. Luckily for me, I didn't have to deal with that. You know what'll stop all of this shit though? Sorry. That's 2 cuss words. You know what'll stop all of this? You're not supposed to have children by the person you're not married with. That'll stop a lot of this.
Because I was going to say that because if you're not married to the person when you have a child, this is just a nugget for anyone that's trying to have babies for anybody. If you two are not married, you better go down to the courthouse and get custody when that baby is a newborn. Before all the drama starts, go and get joint custody right away.
Yeah. And pick the right woman. Pick the right woman.
Well.
I get it. We make mistakes. That's
easier said than done.
We BFF. We make mistakes.
I told you, I'm 3 strikes in, bro.
I'm 2. Sometimes instead of just looking at a fat ass and some big old hips, we need to be trying to figure out what's going on in her back life.
And pay attention to the family and pay attention to what's going on, and
Facts.
Pay attention.
Y'all remember when TLC made condoms cool? We need to bring that back. Make condoms cool again.
Bring your own condom to the shindig too, because some people like to poke holes.
Look, that lady pissed my wife off. She was like, "Hold on."
Women do not want to be mothers, even if they were shown in love. There are women that never have children on purpose because they do not want children, and that is perfect. I think that is the responsible thing to do. If you know, gosh darn well, you don't really want children, don't do it to try and keep anyone. Just don't have any.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask you a gotcha question? I'm letting you know before I ask it. It's a gotcha question.
Okay, go.
Okay. If men can't have a say on whether a woman gets an abortion or not, should men have a say on whether they pay child support or not? Look at BFF.
You said if men, say it again. If men, I mean, this is very controversial. I'm about to say.
I love that question.
You ready?
Yeah.
I don't agree with child support. Shh. Don't tell nobody.
Hey, once you said that, the views
you
went
lost.
down.
You just lost.
I know the ladies are like, I'm out of here.
Once
you just lost 300 subs.
I know they like what?
You said that, and then the views went down about 4 people.
You gotta hear out. You gotta hear what.
I don't
explain.
Child support. I don't. I just think you should try and keep it out of the court as much as possible. Like going to the courthouse, filing for child support, putting your child's name in the system like that right off the top, especially being a person that's worked in this system. I wouldn't do that. I would never.
Want to come back. Danielle want to come back.
Oh, she want to come back, she said?
Yeah.
Drop the link. She like, what? You don't like child support? I'm coming back.
Now, you know, Danielle is a traditional wife.
No, but okay. So you're getting your children, you're getting everyone involved in the system from a very, very early age. And then on top of that, when you file for child support, I don't know about every state, but in New Jersey, what ends up happening, especially if there's a custody piece attached to it, that ends up becoming a case, like a child protection case. So you're going to have workers coming out to your house, all up in your business. And then on top of that, I feel that if the two people cannot come to some kind of agreement, like both people be adults and and work out their financial situation without the court, I just don't believe in child support. I don't think that it's something that helps. And I know I could just hear all the rings going off. Everybody's saying, well, there's men that disappear. There's men that don't want anything to do with their child. I get all of that, but I don't know. I don't think that child support is going to make them become involved with their child.
It's so
Tell
crazy,
Anthony
right?
to refresh his page.
It's so crazy, right? Because like
Tell who?
Anthony.
Anthony, refresh your page. He's trying to come up?
No, he said he hasn't seen a new comment since 8:38.
Oh, that's probably because he on somebody else's channel watching it. We replying from
Yeah, you gotta come over here. What you doing, Anthony?
Oh,
like when you on, it depends on who channel you on the comments that you want to see.
Yeah. And you know what? You're probably not going to see a comment from Danielle because Danielle had left. So when she left, it probably took the link off if you're on her channel.
But I agree with you, babe. But I also think that fucking child support is definitely necessary because dudes is meatballs.
That part.
Like,
okay, so it's necessary sometimes, but people use it as a weapon. I think that's more of what I mean.
It's complicated.
So crazy, coach.
Super complicated.
My situation,
fault, BFF. Got it.
Yeah, my fault, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Like with my situation, you already know, babe. I got hit with bro. My baby mom thought it was funny to come have her cousin serve me with child support papers on my birthday, bro. So mind you, my daughter was only 5 months old at the time. Yeah, like 5 months. She was just 5 months. So I come from outside from playing ball, come up to my mom's house just to take a shower, and they so happen to be at my mom's house. Now, this is the shit where I agree with you, Stash, because my mom's is involved in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
They gathered together on some yaya sisterhood shit. Mind you, y'all got my mom's. She gave birth to me, so how is you involved with this ambushing of we gonna serve him these papers? Now, I didn't mind getting served. I could care less. Like, at that time, I was doing what I was doing, so getting money wasn't nothing. But I'm like, my whole thing was, I just didn't like how my mom subscribed to their channel and everybody was on some, all right, he came out the shower, wow. And I'm like, yo, what's this?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but and that's what I'm saying, it's deliveries. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's way you handle shit. And I was more offended because my mom was part of the shit. Like,
right.
And then on top of that, you were active already.
Always.
So,
like, you know
so that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with that when people do that.
That's why I was like, when Stash said what he said, you know what I'm saying? Why do females do, like, why do they do that? Like, and that's including my own bumbleclot mom. Like,
but let me tell you another one, right? So now, like, remember I told you I had my son when I was 16, right? I had my son when I was 16. I got my own place when I was 21. I got my first place when I was 21, right? I told my son, Mom, I'm like, my son can live with me. You feel? Let him live with me. At this time, she was living with her mother. You feel me? I got my own place. We no longer together at the time. So I'm like, I got him. Let him live with. No, I don't want him living with you. I want to keep him. Okay, cool. Whatever the case may be, is whatever it is you need, I'm here. But I think it's best if he stay with me. So to fast forward, you feel me? She goes to fucking the place to go get the food stamps shit, and then they automatically, for her to get the food stamps, they got to put the father on child support.
Right.
And I'm like,
and that's like, why is that? Why
like,
is that?
And this shit is crazy because I'm like, yo, how the hell, like, why is this even a thing when I said let him come with me? And on top of that, you're living with your mother. You feel what I'm saying? I have my own place. Why is it the fact like, and it's just so crazy. And I know people be like, yo, you should have just went to court and all this other things like that. But like now this is where the mature, like imagine a 21-year-old kid, like not a man, but still young. You feel what I'm saying? I'm traumatized from court and cops and all this. I don't like all that systematic shit. Like we stated earlier, the system don't really work in a man's favor. So I don't want to go to court. I don't want to be around no judge. I want to let me do what the fuck I'm supposed to do. You feel what I'm saying? And let's handle this accordingly. But unfortunately, because I didn't do it at that time, you feel me? I got the short end of the stick. Pause. You feel me? But it's certain situations like that as well where men be still put on child support, even if it's not from the mom, but because the mom is gonna go get certain things, even if the father wants to be in the picture, they still coming up. Where's the dad at? We coming. We need the dad.
That's automatic, bro.
Automatic. And it's still like the dad wants to be in his life. The dad said, "Yo, let him live with me." But it's like because she like, no, I want to keep him living with me and all that, and then go get food stamps. You know, like they still looking for the pops.
And it's important
like that.
It's important that me, Stash, and BFF let the panel know, let the whole chat room know we're not taking up for deadbeat dads.
Right.
I just haven't personally. I'm making my personal statement here. You can't be mad at me for what I'm saying. I personally haven't seen many deadbeat dads.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, they out there. They out there.
Nah, them niggas just
Danielle, go ahead.
I know them. I call a couple of them my friends. I be having to like, know what I mean? Like kind of, you a friend over here. I ain't gonna tell nobody or, know what I mean? Yo, bro, it's so crazy. Stash, know it. They got a website. They put deadbeat dads on the website. Like, word up.
Yeah. What you was gonna say, Danielle?
No, I was just gonna say that there. I feel like there is a problem with the terminology, because if you are explaining a deadbeat as somebody who financially cannot, for whatever reason, that's very different than somebody who emotionally does not or for whatever reason cannot deal with the child. Like there's two different categories of deadbeat. There are some people who are, like you are explaining, are forced, their hand is forced. They cannot be a part of that child's life. And then there are others that are perfectly capable and they just don't want to. Then you have others who it's been, so much trauma in the initial relationship that they can't. Like I've seen people, we got to meet at McDonald's because if we don't meet at McDonald's, it's going to be a whole thing, not having anything to do with the child. So me as somebody who was not raised by either my parents, for real, like there's a lot more to the situation, and as you guys are all explaining, but we want to put these things in such, like we want to forget nuance. Like each of these situations are different and we want to define it by this larger context. And it's improbable. And it goes back to what Coach was saying earlier. We want to be right more than we want to examine each individual case.
Mm. But that's why it also goes to like, even, everything we speaking about is like, the relationships that ultimately trickles down, either on the kid or whatever the man. I feel like this is why it's important, I feel like, for both women and men to be on the same page. It's not about us men wanting to be better than the woman. You don't hear women talking about, men talking about, we want the same resources y'all want, or we want to be like women, or we as strong as women. Yo, it's things that y'all can do that we give y'all hats, like we tip our hat off, like y'all could have that, like we can't do it. But I feel like, because I say all that to say, I feel like the men is not really trying to compete with the women. I feel like the women is trying so hard to compete or go at it with the men, not all, but there's women out there that's trying so hard to go at it with the man that it's affecting the dynamic of the situation.
We got one in the chat.
Yeah, I'm fucking dead. This guy. That it's affecting the dynamic of the situation, because a lot of these situations we have kids involved. You feel what I'm saying? And when you have kids involved, it don't do nothing but rolls over to the next generation. You feel me? All because of what the hell the parents is going through, and because they not on the same page. And once again, the child being primarily with the mother. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for example, I didn't have my mother. I was raised solely by my father. You feel what I'm saying? My mother was not in my life. You feel me? I have
That
a
don't
good
happen.
relationship with her. I
That don't
respect my
happen.
mom,
You lying.
but I was raised by my dad. You feel what I'm saying? And this is why,
So
like,
you
when I
felt
say,
what I was kind of saying then, like the
yeah,
dad steps in and takes
so this,
care of his child.
and
Like,
this is where you hear, like, for example, when I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, you know, I had a kid at a young age. I stepped up. I had to step up. My father was there for me at, you know what I mean, at a young age. When I sit there and I say I had my own crib at 21, that means I was
yeah,
applying to get my own shit when I was 17, 18. You feel me?
yeah,
I'm already thinking about getting my own place. That's because
yeah,
I had a man in my life to be like, yo, Nate, I'm not, you better get your shit together. You got a
yeah.
kid now. You better don't think I'm gonna be taking care of this kid or whatever the case may be is. If
Hmm.
I got out of line, don't think I ain't gonna whip your ass. You feel
Right.
what I'm saying? Like it's a different energy. You feel what I'm saying? So
Shout out to
even when
Jeffrey Dahmer in the chat.
you know when BFF is sitting there, you
I
know what I
see
mean, he
that.
sit there and we talk about like the maturity level. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm not taking anything away from the women and the ladies in the chat or the mothers, but I feel like it's a different type of energy when you're raised from a man than from a woman. That's why even when I cut up in the chat, if I'm joking with y'all in the chat and I'm a lot of shit be saying, I don't take that shit personal. I don't
Right.
be sensitive. You feel me? But I
Just
feel like
I have a question, Stash.
So there's a question. I want to homebody Trish asked this.
what's up?
She said, how are we immediately jumping to custody? Why aren't the relationships working?
That sounds like a woman asking a question whose relationship is working. No, I'm just being real. So, like, a lot of times, if you have a good ass relationship, Trish, you can't see people that just. Some people don't supposed to be together. Some people took the one night stand home, and it was just supposed to be the one night stand.
Right. Or the one night stand got impregnated. And that's what I was talking about. I'm talking about people that aren't married and they're having a child. They need to go to the courthouse and file for joint custody when that child is first born.
Yeah.
What
They
you was gonna
need
say,
to do that
Danielle? Because
for
Danielle
many
was gonna say
reasons.
something.
For many reasons, they need to do that.
No, I was just going to ask, and because when you were talking, it's like I want to make sure I understand. Do you feel like there are no advantages for men in this society? And I'm talking about regardless of race, socioeconomic status. Do you feel like there is no advantage for men?
I'm not gonna say it's no advantages for men, but I feel like men is up. We going up against a very big fight. Like we going up against we're getting jumped. You know what I'm
And you feel
saying?
like all men, that's all men, not just
I
certain
don't think it's
populations
all
of
men,
men.
no, I think it's black men.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
facts. I feel that's a fact. Like I feel like us as black men, we are getting jumped. We're not being respected by a lot of different parties. We not being respected by the white people because we're black. You feel me? We not being respected by the system because they against us. We're not being respected by the women because they feel like, you know, we are
You're a
just as
man.
strong as you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? We're not being respected by our children because the children is being raised by the women, and however that the women mindset is towards the dad, because they with the mom, they not 9 times out of 10 they probably got that outlook. You feel me? My son told me before I had a conversation, you know, with him, I don't know why you always trying to talk to me crazy when you in and out my life.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, and I ain't saying that for no sympathy shit, but I'm just
No, but
saying as a, you know what I mean, this is what I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? That sound like some shit your mother would say. You feel what I'm saying? But it's when you it's like we're just going up against so many different things. You feel me?
Right.
Where this is where I ask, I'm like, y'all want to fight to be us? You feel what I'm saying? Equal to us? Because if y'all even if you know what I mean, you put yourself in a man's shoes, are you ready to be attacked by your children? Are you ready to be attacked by us if the shoes is turned? If you ready to be attacked by, you know, you already attacked by the white people. Are you ready to be attacked by the system? Imagine if things was switched. You feel me? What if, you know what I mean, the fathers had the right to have custody, and they like, where's the mother at? We want to know where the mother. Y'all would have a
well, it does depend on the state. I will say that. I was just trying to ask that question because I think the worldview that men have black men have no advantages over a black woman. I think that's something that needs to be examined because there are certain areas and aspects that you guys have an advantage, perhaps, that we don't as black women. And so I think that
give me an example.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
You about to say name one?
Give me an example. No, because I know what you say be based in like your studies and stuff. So give me an example.
Yeah.
For example, and y'all discounted, things like employment, right? Y'all said no, we're not talking about politics, we're not talking about employment. The reason there is an area of study that says the reason why African American women are more degreed than other people is because they can't get the same job that a person, even a man, in their same field, their same color, right? They will not get paid the same. And if you want to throw out economics, then yeah, okay, we can't use that example, but that is one area. I gotta have 2 degrees to match this one black doctor man. Because there's a discord. There's discord there. There's an imbalance there, and so I think that there are some advantages that we're not seeing because it's been looked at as a whole.
Every job that I went to, though, and me and you, let me say this for the chat. Me and Danielle are not going at each other because we get along behind the scenes. But most of the jobs that I've went, it's a black woman sitting in the corporate position being the gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And that's unfortunate, but I will also say she may have, and I can't make absolutes.
Right.
Oftentimes, there's a reason why it's only one of them. It's a reason why it's only one of them because you had to. And who coach? I don't know if you heard this when you were growing up. You have to be 3 times better than everybody else.
Right? Oh, that's so sad, but we all heard that.
You have to be 3. So if that black woman is in that seat, I guarantee you she done did some things to get there. And I'm not talking about sexual. I'm just talking about she had to go to school. She had to make the right decisions. She had to say everything right, do everything right. I'm not saying there was no handout there.
Now, I got a question for you, Danielle. What is the way she would treat that next black male who applies for that job? Now, is she gonna have that same sit? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I think that it's gonna be exclusionary because that's the society that we live in. It can only be one of us.
But that's
and I feel like that unfortunately, I think my question goes to how do we dismantle that part? Because we're all fighting a system.
And that is the problem. That is what I am hearing when everybody is bringing up like the argument for women or the argument for men.
It's like we're doing this.
That we all have struggles. So instead of like trying, it goes back to what I said in the beginning. Instead of us both trying to be right and to be the person that has more troubles than the other, we need to be uplifting each other. But I don't know where that shift happened. It's definitely there because there's conversations I can't have this conversation with everyone. Sometimes I start talking and people get irate. Like they are so far gone in their trauma that they cannot even hear the opposing side. They can't even hear it. They can't hear it.
I feel like in order to get the shit to the thing to where it need to be, I feel like it needs to be more of people empowerment and not women empowerment. You feel me? I feel like, you know what I mean? People gotta, start, just holding people accountable, whether what race or gender you are, like what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. And stop, taking up for each other because, you know what I mean? Oh, we women, and because that's another thing I hear a lot. We women, we gotta stick together. You feel me? Like I never heard a man be like, yo, we men, let's stick together, and unless we playing a sport or some type of shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? But what is that? You know what I mean? We have to like stick, like really come together as people and stop going at it like we are like enemies and shit. Like, cause we not. We, like you said, we all going up against our own obstacles. We all going up against the system. But once we start being on some type of time of like, the separation, that's when things get rocky. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to families. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times the women have the key to the family thing. Y'all hold a lot of weight on the family, and the family is important because that's the foundation. You feel me? When people grow up in a certain household and a family, they gotta eventually go out into the real world and become who they are. You feel what I'm saying? So who are you? If you're a person that came from a broken home or a system that wasn't, together, when you go out there in the real world, you feel me? This is where the chaos start. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where it gotta be like they playing us. You feel me? The system and I feel like they want it to be. They seen this shit before we even got here. This shit was in plan before we even got here. You know what I mean? And it's playing out. So that's where I feel like, yo, that's where we gotta. That's where it gotta. It's even to the point of like not. And I'm not against even the LGBTQ people. You feel me? I'm nothing against them. One of my best friends is gay. You feel pause. You feel what I'm saying? But I say that
because he gay.
Who?
Pause.
I said you ain't got the pause because he gay.
Nah, because Supreme is here. Because Supreme is look. Because Supreme is here. I'm already. I know Supreme. You feel what I'm saying? But I say all that to say, like,
for the record, pause.
Even to the extent of like, you know what I mean? It's situations where women be like they respect gay men better than us.
Now I'm gonna say this because I really do have to go this time, but I want to say this real quick. What I hear you saying is that there needs to be more community and interdependence within the community, more conversations like this, where you can have somebody who may have variations of different views to have these conversations and create an environment where it's not so, sorry for the big word, antithetical, right? Not so oppositional, not so much chaos in between, right? That might be the path to more unity, because I think if I'm talking about somebody, if I'm saying, oh, you red pill, I am thinking of an ideology.
Right.
I'm not thinking
you're not hearing. Now you're not hearing. You're not
exactly, and I'm not thinking of a person, right? When I hear somebody says all women, I'm not thinking of. I'm thinking of a class of people, not a person. And I think we need to have more conversations like this so that we can hash out some of these ideas, even if we don't walk away with a solution. Because I don't know that, we can create a solution, but at least the conversation. So I'm not walking around thinking Supreme, Stash, Coach has this ideology and they don't.
Right. Then you'll be like this. Then you'll be like the osteopenutigator of the venereal tract mindset brings the abecedarian rudiments of the philosophy to the forefront.
That is terrible.
Stash, you know what? Like when you're talking, Stash, I'm thinking because you're like the generation after mine, at least. I don't know how old. I think some of you are a little younger than me, right?
I'm 31.
We all
right. So you're 31. So when you talk like this, it makes me scared. Like, because it's like a lot of the women that are in your age group that you hear, that you come into contact with. This is what you're hearing a lot. This is like what they're saying, right? So
this is what's going on.
That's scary.
And I see it every day.
It's getting worse and worse.
You feel and I see it every day. This is not nothing where I'm just seeing on social media. You feel me?
You see it in person.
I'm seeing it in person. You feel me? I go outside and I ask these young dudes like, "Where your father?" You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with that nigga. You feel
me? Oh my
God. What you mean you don't like? Yeah, I don't like. Listen, I advise we all adults. So I mean, but if anybody in here, know a younger dude, the guys especially, if y'all know any young guys out here, young boys, make sure you let them know to make it their business to have a conversation with their father.
Yes, I saw somebody did I don't know what it was, a short or reel, and they were it was like maybe a guy, maybe about your age, that's maybe a little younger than you, maybe like 28, and he was talking about that. He was like, he was healed so much by just having one conversation with his dad, like a real grown man conversation with his father.
And it's coming off of not only what I see, but experience. Like I said that earlier, like my son told me, like, you are in and out my life. You feel me? I had to have a conversation with him. Good thing I caught it young. because my son is only 13. You feel me? So I caught it extremely early, because if me and him would have never had that conversation, or I wasn't around the way I'm around, and you know what I mean, he probably would have really grew up thinking I don't want to be his father, and it's like really like F that dude. You feel what I'm saying? Where it's always two sides to a story.
Yeah.
You feel me? But as a man, you will have to listen to your mom, you will have to listen to your dad, and as a person, you will have to come up with your own conclusion and make it. You know what I mean? You got to be smart enough to make it make sense for you. You feel what I'm saying?
I really wish we could get back. I mean, I know this is wishful thinking, but I really wish we could get back to like the family structure of the 60s, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like that family structure, the Black family. Like we used to actually value like staying together, like mom and dad together.
Nah, facts.
That's a wrap. Like,
and that was the foundation. You feel me?
And that was the foundation.
That was the foundation.
I know that there was still issues there. I know that the family wasn't perfect, but the fact that the dad was in the home, your dad was around, your mom, and we're not discrediting, because I know some people say, well, what about the mom? We're not discrediting moms. Of course, mom, the role of the mother is extremely important, but so is dad. He's not something that can just be discarded out of the family structure.
That's a fact. Like, even as a man, I feel like, you feel me? Like, with my son being here with me, unless my baby mom was on some, like, strung out on crack, or she was, like, really not stable or some crazy wild shit, I want my son mom to be in his life. You feel me? I could be wrong, but I don't ever hear a man being like, I want my child, and telling the mother, you can't be in my child life. Like, that shit don't even sound right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just the difference in it, you know what I mean, in the gender that just be making shit weird. I'm sorry for cursing.
I think sometimes like I can't speak for every single woman that does this stuff, like tries to exclude dad after the relationship breaks up or whatever. But I know that a lot of it comes from, and everyone hates this word, but bitterness, like of the relationship not working. And now being the person that's going to be the primary caregiver, having this child all the time, right? And dad can go off and be free, and I'm here stuck with this child.
No, I can see how that can make a woman irritated. Yeah,
so I think that causes some women to like become irritated and to become like upset, especially when you mother lovers go around and get you a new girlfriend. And here she is,
she fine,
with the baby, and you over there,
and she got a big butt.
What you calling with her?
But there go. That's that feeling. That's that bitterness of, you know what I mean.
It's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. But I think if we want to grow and we want to heal, we've got to have conversations like that.
Let me interject.
You ain't having that in the moment.
So just what you was talking about, Coach, when you were saying that, and I said I can understand that, I can look at it from the female's perspective. I told y'all I don't hate women. So my wife pretty much has my daughter most of the time, so I can do my bullshit. So I get that. And sometimes I'll look and I'll be like, let me go get her. Let me let her get a nap, or let me do this, or let me do. So I can see it. You know what I'm saying? If a woman's doing that, and then the man that ran off, and then he playing Playboy and running the streets and living his life, and she's stuck with this kid. And yeah, I mean, we got to look. So as you mature, you start trying to look at things from everybody's perspective.
That's it.
I can see that.
Supreme.
Shut up, nigga.
I love this on you, Supreme. I love this.
Like this,
Listen here, man.
I want that raggedy motherfucker.
Listen,
no,
man.
I love this.
So,
I love this.
Stash done got away with like 20 cuss words. So I'm gonna fuck all y'all. Okay, how about that? Y'all like that, Supreme? Y'all like that, Supreme? Let me go get my MAGA hat. Hold on. Look at BFF woke up. He was like, "Oh Lord."
Yeah.
this is a good conversation. This is a decent panel, man. Even though, I mean, you know, some people done got triggered, but this panel should have been called "Don't Get Triggered."
Nah, and all
don't get. But I love being able to have conversations with people that about very sensitive topics where everyone can speak what they need, can speak their piece, and no one gets like. Everyone is able to say what they need to say. I'll say it like that.
And this goes into a place where it's like, yo, like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I know we on YouTube, but we all family. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we all in the community. We all chop it up with each other. Don't take things personal. These are important conversations that need to be had.
Yes.
You feel me? And not for nothing, we need to appreciate these type of conversations, because if we would have had these conversations more often, you know what I mean, we wouldn't be in the situation we in. You know what I'm saying? So
you need different points of views, bro. When you just think one-minded or one-sided, you know what I'm saying, or you only think with a certain minded group, that's the only view you got. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Jay.
Bars.
You need different perspectives. You feel me?
Right.
But don't listen to me. I ain't nobody.
Nah.
Yes, you are.
You are somebody, bro.
You are somebody. You are somebody.
But I ain't gonna lie, yo. Listen, I gotta get ready for work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we about to get it. I've been on here for 3 hours and 24 minutes.
Hey, yo, Coach, when you get off this, send me some of them watch hours, because I'm gonna need some. You heard?
I told you what to do. You could have been getting all of this.
Nah, everybody here. You feel me? This is late.
Who's going live next? Is the lives over?
Is anyone going live after this? I'm about to go try and find something to eat.
I ain't gonna be back on
a plate.
I ain't gonna be back on YouTube till probably like 12 o'clock when I'm at work. So I'll see y'all later.
Oh, you about to go to sleep?
Right, I'm about to get ready for work. I got to shower and get ready for work.
Oh, okay.
Got to be there at 11.
All right.
Danielle says she going live.
Thank you. No, and congratulations, 1K gang.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats, bro.
Good looking, bro. I appreciate you. Later, family.
Later. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank all the panelists tonight. So, guys, everybody that jumped on the panel after the live post, I want you to drop a comment so people can find your channel if they need to. After the live post, it's going to go up like as soon as I end it. So after that, guys, make sure that you drop a comment in the comment section, and then people can click and find your channel, people that watch the replay, because I'm pretty sure we'll get some people watching the replay, especially when we started having these really good conversations. I want to be able to do this more and more. And I absolutely love the fact that we had men. We had the voices of men on the panel. So men, please, any men in the chat that would like to come up on the panel, make sure your beard is brushed and you got some Vaseline on your lips or something. So next Sunday at 6 o'clock, if I do another panel, you can join the panel. I thank everybody for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all.
Raid Danielle's live. She's going live next.
Danielle's going live next?
Yes.
Oh, Danielle, we going
to Danielle's live next. All right, guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.